everyone. Before I start, mabati lang akong tingog. Yes. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, CWTS students. Are you still there? Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay.
Morning, ma'am.
All right. Good morning, everyone. The Office of the Dean of Students, through the Office of the Career and Job Placement Service, in collaboration with the Office of the National Service Training Program, presents to you this webinar entitled Character Enhancement Seminar. This is Miss Andrea Marie Pendas Corneo from Team Resilience, your host for today's event. And to start with, let us now have our Philippine National Anthem, to be followed by our opening prayer.
Father, your word says that where two or three are gathered in your name, you are in their midst. Thank you for being with us today. Let this place be full in your glory. We come against the spirit of division in the name of Jesus. Help us to interact with one another, and may we agree in all our discussions. Bind us with cords of love, that we may come to a common ground even when we have different opinions. Cover us with the blood of your dear Son, and help us to leave this place with joyful hearts. Through Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Ayan ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
The others. For today's webinar, we are about to listen and learn from our dear guest speakers. Skills like intensify, enhance, improve, upgrade, grow up, flourish, and develop are one of the skills that we can get to this webinar. We acknowledge the presence of everyone who are here in our Zoom meeting. Students, hi, as well as those who are watching via FB Live. Still there? Good morning.
Morning,
Can I
ma'am.
get a hi? Good morning.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
We have
morning.
good morning. We have our VP for Students Affairs and Services, our Dean of Students, CWTS team coordinators, and students who are with us in Zoom. To officially begin, help me welcome with a virtual applause the Dean of Students and the Director of National Service Training Program, Professor Manolo B. Loreto, for the welcome message. Sir?
Hello, good morning. Thank you, Miss Andrea Borneo. To our Vice President for Student Affairs and Services, Dr. Alili Villusino. To our CWTS Coordinator, Professor Joy Belien. To our CWTS instructors. And most importantly, to our CWTS students. A pleasant morning to everyone. So this webinar that we are giving you this morning is actually our annual seminar given to CWTS students as well as the ROTC trainees. Our intention for this seminar is to start right in our schooling and in our preparation for the world of work. We all pretty know that in this 21st century, there are two things that we have to remember. There are two general skills that we have to learn. The hard skills and the soft skills. The hard skills are the one known as the technical skills. These are all related to your degree program. Learn from your degree program. If you are an engineering student, you will learn how to solve problems there, how to design anything that you have to do related to your program. And the skills that you will learn there are known as our technical or hard skills. The other side is the soft skills. And what are these soft skills? As I've said, in the 21st century's skills requirement or category, there are 12 soft skills identified that the industry needs. And these 12 are categorized into three big categories. These are the learning skills, literacy skills, and life skills. If we have to look at this into detail, which you may have time later on to look at this, all of this is wrapped in one. For me, it is wrapped in one thing: that you cannot learn, you cannot possess these learning skills, you cannot possess these literacy skills, you cannot have these life skills if you do not have the right character and attitude. In many cases that I have visited, universities that I have visited, and when we interview the industries or the partners of the different universities, and we ask them, what is your foremost skills required by your first entry hiring or hired personnel when you do recruitment? And the first thing that we have to always say is the right attitude. No? So therefore, here in the university, we have to teach our students the right attitude to learn, the right attitude to work. Maubitaw ning atong sa mga estudyante diri is very suit, no? Gipangita gyud ni sa mga companies ang atong graduate nga mga students because they have the right attitude. Ang pagbaktas-baktas lang, if you will experience later on when we will have our face-to-face, ang pagbaktas-baktas lang nato from one room to another room, from lower campus to upper campus is already a good training for a good attitude. Because it is perseverance, it is patience. Tanan, wrapped in all na diha. No? So, we need to learn this one. Kamu karon kay napos virtual, we have to start contemplating what are these things that we need, what are these right attitude that we have to have. Okay, so these skills are, as I've said, there is only one key by the industries, and this is the right attitude. So, or they said that it's someone's ability to enact or adapt to a change. Dali siya maka-adapt or change, and this is developed from us, and this will be teach by our, or this will be tackled by our speakers from the Office of Student Welfare and Services, so, and also from the Career and Job Placement Services of this Office of the Dean of Students. So, students from the CWTS, mayon tato maapilon tato nato ang ROTC, but it's difficult because they have a different what it would be schedule, no? So nindot tatog maapil nato aron kita tanan mga first year matudloan dayon og what is a right thing to start in a right manner. Okay, so this is it, our character enhancement. We are not calling this as value formation because you have already done this one in your high school. Ang ato din hiron is to enhance. Now, so you have learned your values, or you have been given a lecture on these values in your high school, but now we will have to enhance that one so that 4 years from now, you will be ready for the world of work. So with this, I encourage all our students to listen attentively to our speakers. And if you have something to say, you can chat with them. You can post your questions right in our chat box so that can be addressed by our speakers. And perhaps also Ma'am Alili can also help us answering your query. Okay? So, again, this is for you. We designed, take note that this is Saturday, supposedly. This is to be a rest day for us here, but we are here in this virtual, live in this virtual, because we love you so much as our students to give you the best training that we can have here in our university. So with this, thank you so much, and may God bless us all. Thank you so much, and good morning again.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. And I believe our students are ready to graduate, sir. Are excited as we are about to start this session. Graduate naman no. Thus, let us now call on our first speaker for today's webinar. She is a faculty of the Department of Liberal Arts and Behavioral Sciences, affiliate guidance counselor of the university. Help me welcome Miss May Pascual. Ma'am?
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you all doing today? It is quite a cool day, cool Saturday for us here at the VSU campus. And we are also feeling cool with our topics that we have lined up for you this morning. All right, so I have to also look cool because this morning, for the first time, my camera of my laptop did not work. So sometimes these things can happen. And so we have to do we have to improvise. And the improvisation that I'm doing right now is I placed some scotch tape on my cell phone so that it will be steady on my tripod. No? Unfortunately, I failed to bring my cell phone holder. So here I am. I hope my screen is already visible in your gadgets. Okay, so the title of my topic is Make Sure. I'm sure of us have a lot of dreams. Am I right? We have so many dreams in life, and I too have many dreams when I was also your age. But I had to fulfill a very specific dream. So let me also do my sharing later on, because we cannot just talk about these things if we cannot relate it with our own lives. So it is best to have example right from your speakers. All right, so that we can share also a little bit about ourselves, and you will be able to say it's not just theory. All right. Hello, Ma'am Alili. I can see you. Hi, Ma'am. Okay, so let me start with these very inspiring quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. She said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Right now, can you say that your dreams are beautiful? Okay. As I was looking at this quotation earlier this morning, yes, I have to do my PowerPoint slides this morning, early morning, I was really focusing on the word future, because for me, the future that I was thinking of many years ago is already the one that I'm experiencing now. And I can say that it's really beautiful, especially that I'm back here in my alma mater. All right, so let me proceed with my story. When I was in high school, I was actually confused on what to take up for my college degree. Of course, I have to consider my mother's occupation. She is an accountant, but not a CPA. And her friends would used to tease me, mag-unsa man ka inig kadako nimo, mag-accounting ka, unsa man ang accounting ka ng A1, A2, A3. So they were teasing me, and I was also being teased because when I was little, I was asked by also my older siblings and cousins, what do you want to be when you grow up? And innocently, I would tell them I want to become a teacher, at the same time a labasera. Okay, so that was quite amusing because I really wanted to become a labasera, because they were the ones I would usually see almost every day as they come to our house and sell fish. And at the same time, I was amazed by my teachers. So that is why I wanted to become a teacher, not really knowing that I will become a teacher one day. All right, so when I was nearing that was fourth year during our time, I really had to finalize my decision. And we did not have really a guidance counselor then, although we had a designated teacher as a counselor, but she was not trained to do career counseling. Good thing we had Ate Christie, Mom Christie, who was able to assist us. Yeah, she was also our affiliate counselor when I was in high school, and she's still here with us now. Amazing, right? And so she gave us, I think that was a career counseling, career test. And it turned out that I was not cut out for any social, psychological kind of occupation. But yet, I was already thinking of psychology. All right, so when she shared it to me, I was a bit sad, because I was already bent on taking up psychology with the influence of my cousin, who was already in Cebu, and she was sharing to me they have a good offering, the school that she was in. And so I shared it to my mother that I wanted to take up psychology. And lo and behold, I was told, unfortunately, they cannot afford, so I have to study here at VSU. I did not allow that circumstance to hinder my dream. So I nagpabaga kugnaw. I wrote a letter to my brother, who was already at the time working. And I told him, I wrote him a long letter. I was not used to writing him a letter, of course. You were not used to doing that before. And he was in Manila, and I asked him if he could help me in my studies. And surprisingly, he was not, he was very much supportive. Even if years before that, he told us, kung makagraduate ko o makatrabaho ko, ayaw mo pag-expect nga mutabang ko ninyo. But he ate his words because he was very willing to support me. And so I was able to study in college in Cebu, in the school where I really wanted. And I was able to pursue psychology. Unfortunately, in the middle of my first year, I started to get homesick. So niuli ko sa Visca. And I studied here for 1 semester. It was my time for me to really reflect and really consider if I really wanted to go back. But my desire was so strong that after 1 semester, I told the registrar who was already telling me, you have to enroll in a course because you're just enrolling in subjects. So I told them, I'm already going back to Cebu. And so I really fulfilled my promise to my professors in that school when I told them I will just come back, promise. I'll be back after a semester. And I did, I went back. And when I came back, I was already behind my batchmates. And being an introvert, it was a struggle because I was already doing things on my own. I didn't have close friends. But it wanted my I to feel yet feeling in my loneliness, I was had lower grades, low in the mid, and I did not like it. One of the things that I know of myself was that I want to achieve, but I do not like it that I burn my midnight candles. So God allowed it to happen because that was the time that I was at my lowest, and He met me, and I was able to join a Catholic group that helped me in my journey as a college student. As I said, I was already on my own. I was not in a block section, and yet I was able to find comfort and company in God. So that was how it was for the next 3 years. And that time, my parents were already retiring, and no, my mother was about to retire. And again, even if my brother was helping me in my allowance, my financial for my tuition was already challenging. No, my parents could not barely send me my tuition fee, and so I started to scout for scholarship, and fortunately, I was accepted. So again, I did not allow those hindrances to stop me from pursuing what I really wanted to pursue. And thankfully, at the end of my 5th year in that school, I was able to graduate. And amazingly, I was able to make it with flying colors. And all I can say was that it was not just me, but I believe it was a promise that God fulfilled to me when He said that if you seek first my kingdom, the rest will follow. Matthew 6:33. And also His promise in Jeremiah 29:11. So I was able to graduate, and I am a bit emotional because I haven't really told this story to just anyone. Anyway, inhale, exhale. All right, so it took me about 2 months before I was able to land in my first job. That was in a Catholic school, and I was really happy because I was hired as a guidance counselor and for children because I really love children. So for about 23 years, I was in that school until finally, so own in, so I have a big distance from home because to study for her doctorate. So here, yes, you and I, and I'm able to fulfill my, which is to teacher. I was only thinking a teacher for the, but God had other plans. I became a tertiary instructor. So I'm now here, I am back, and I'm happy to be able to give back to my alma mater. So that's my story for now. Okay, so what did I learn from my journey as I was going through my college and then in my early years of my profession? Okay, let me now start with my input with the definition of dream. Okay, so of course we have to consult the experts. So Merriam-Webster tells us that dream is a noun and also a verb. But here I prefer to use the noun. There are two definitions that I chose just to put into context our topic. Okay, so the first one is something that fully satisfies a wish. Okay, so we have also many wishes, and usually it's something that is ideal. But what I really wanted to focus on is the second definition, which says a strongly desired goal or purpose. So ang dream di dili ra damgo nga mahitabo kung matulog ta. No nindutan ako ganahan jud ko matulog kay magdamgo ko kay nganuman ako man ang bida, di ba? Kung magdamgo ta kita ang bida. Kay kung dili na ka ikaw ang bida, mahimo na siyang Ma'am Chana. I was strongly desired, no? Something that we really desire so strongly. There is an internal that would make us pursue that. It's a purpose in us. So just like what I shared to you earlier, that purpose within me, the degree in psychology was so strong that I was going through some, it was this time na nasikat na ang word of naka-realize it could have for an issue on mental health. That's why I came back. Gimingaw ko no po. But looking back, I can say the experience, and also thank God it allowed me to go through that because it made me be able to empathize more with the students who would talk to me about their issues as college or as students in their college life. Okay, so that's the definition of, again, it is a strong desired goal. It is not just a simple wish. It is strongly desired. It is really in your life. All right, so how do you live? Excuse me. So going to your dream become a part of your life. What will you do to achieve your purpose? Made it 3 simple points. It starts with knowing. Okay, so let me show this slide to you. The first, dream. Second is know what you're capable of. And third, know that God only wants the best for you. So what's your dream? Okay, so I would like to take this short moment to encourage you to think about your dream. So mas maayo you close your eyes for this few moments. Start to think, imagine your old dream. So right now, I will get so that concentrate and visualize that dream. Are you seeing something that is beautiful according to Eleanor Roosevelt? Okay. Hold that image in your mind as we talk about fulfilling your dream. First, know your dream. You would not know what to do if you do not know where you're going. So first, the most important thing that you have to do is set your goal, know your purpose. Ask the hard questions. What am I here for? What is it that God is telling me? Envision that. Imagine yourself that you're already in that vision. You know, I also have little dreams in my life, and one of the things that I found effective, aside from praying constantly for that, is to have some visuals about it. So I was praying for something, and I was inspired by somebody who said that he wanted to have a certain car, and so he cut out a picture of that car and placed it somewhere in his room where he can regularly look at it. So I tried to do that also. I placed a picture of that thing that I wanted on my cell phone. Kana bitawang tawag na to og ano, wallpaper ba na siya? Okay, so I have that. I had that rather before I was able to get that, which I was also dreaming and asking God for. So after a few months of putting that as a wallpaper, God engineered circumstances so that I was able to receive that blessing. So one of the things that you can actually do is to envision what you really want, and it will be attracted to you, and you will be attracted to it. So with both ends that would attract, eventually you will see yourself in that dream, living that dream. Again, set your goal, envision it, see yourself in that. The next is know what you're capable of. Believe. Earlier, Sir Loreto was telling us these 21st century skills. All right, so he mentioned skills. Now, it's important because companies will, well, skills can easily be learned. That's of for that person to learn, and it should start as early in life. Okay, so know what you're capable of. Have that self-awareness. You know, you also are taking up UTS, right? Understanding the self. And in this course on understanding the self, there are many opportunities to know yourself. You unpack yourself, you know your materialistic and sexual self, and the physical self, and the spiritual self. Know where you are weak at and know what you are capable of. When you know who you are, it is also easier to know what you're capable of. It will also bring you closer to what you want in your life. Therefore, just believe that you can. Believe that you are capable, and believe that one day you will be where you want yourself to be in. And lastly, the very important knowing that we have to have is to know that God only wants the best for us. So closer relationship to a higher being would really help us achieve that dream. When I was in college, as I was sharing to you earlier, the Lord met me where I was. I was at my lowest. He used my kanang sana siya kanang overachieving pero di magtuo, no. He used my my lowest ebb so that he would be able to speak to me directly, no? So it was a personal experience of me, a personal encounter with God, and he used people so that I would also know him. So do not lose the opportunity when people would try to share to you about their experiences with God. Because through their experiences, you will never know, you will also meet God in a personal way. And you will be able to know also what he wants, which is only for the best of you. Let me share to you this passage that I have been holding on to when I was in college. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope and a future. That future, according to Roosevelt, is a beautiful one because you have dreamed of it, and it is also what God wants for you. Always have that in your mind that it is only for your own good that God wants to have that dream for you to be fulfilled. He knows what we want, but he is the one who would bless us so that we will reach that dream. So if you see, it's like a triangle. When you want your dream to be fulfilled in your life, when you want to live in that dream, you have to consider three things: God, yourself, and your dream. With these three, you will be able to see yourself one day living that dream. And so earlier I said, I am living that dream for now. Guys, God also has something bigger for each one of us, not just for our own selves. So we have to be open. Our dreams are not only fulfilled when we reach that occupation, that profession that we want. Because always when we serve God through our fellow Filipinos or our fellow men, that is when we will truly be happy and fulfilled. When we are able to fulfill our dream, it is because God has blessed us, and it is because we were able to serve him. So my dear students, I am encouraging you, do not limit yourself. You can still aim higher and go beyond, because I know God's plans for you are always the best, and it is always encompassing. It is not limited to one person alone. It is not limited for you alone. So here, as we are facing this pandemic, we are challenged. As we are facing this distance learning challenges, we will be able to see that we can always look beyond, because our dream is right there in front of us. All we have to do is go one step at a time. So with that, my dear students, I would like to encourage you, and I would like to thank you for allowing me time to share about my life, especially about the pursuit of my dream. And I hope one day magkita-kita man ta, makaingon mo nga, ako pod ma'am, nakabuot na gyud nako. And we will all thank God for allowing us to experience that beautiful plan in our life. So thank you so much. Kadto lang, dili na nato tas-on, kay daghan pa mo makatunan sa mga sumusunod nga mga speakers. Thank you very much and have a pleasant morning.
Indeed, there is no greater time than now to begin to live your dreams. You can make your dreams come true if you put in the effort and make a reasonable plan. All you have to do is to know what you want and take baby steps to be in your path to success. Matod pa ni Miss May, go one step at a time. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us and for that very informative talk, Miss May. You know, a lot of students, even teachers, like have the problem in managing time or time management, like long-term schedules, such as when managing a schedule of work and recreation, or even planning our learning tasks or timelines atong learning tasks and assessment in school activities. Diba, students? No, to help us solve this problem about time management and meeting the deadlines, let me call on the head of the Office of the Student Development Services, Ms. Christie Cyrene T. Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Can I share my screen? Hello, ma'am. Na-actually talk, ma'am, ha? Actually, ma'am, hello. Hello, ma'am. Na-actually talk, ma'am. Kadali, ma'am. Nakita na ako screen, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Nakita na, ma'am. Okay, so a pleasant morning to the Vice President for the Student Affairs and Services, Dr. Alili Villusino, the Dean of the Office of the Dean of Students, Professor Manolo Loreto, the CWS Coordinator, Dr. Joy Billion, the CWS instructors, faculty, members of the university who are present and joining with us this morning, for my colleagues at the Office of the Dean of Students, to our dear students who are joining us right now in these very important activities, a pleasant morning to one and all.
Good morning, ma'am.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am, makita na ako screen.
Yes, ma'am. I-kuha na lang siya, i-present.
Okay, for a while, ha? Okay na, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so life as a college student. By the way, I am Christie Cyrene Tauy, and I am the head of the Office of Student Development Services. So under me are the student organizations of the university and the student activities, and also the student leadership training and program. Okay, so my topic this morning is meeting deadlines, ways to manage time wisely. Now, life as a student is hard enough to manage, especially if one is working part-time, taking care of family, or juggling other commitments. And what makes it even harder is the situation that we are facing now, no? The challenges of the global COVID-19 pandemic, being quarantined, and classes being held remotely. Now, it's hard to stick to a routine, and at the same time, very difficult to discern what one should focus on at a given time. Now, this morning, my dear students, I'm going to invite you to listen to this short presentation, and maybe you can pick important techniques and methods that would be favorable to your needs in managing your time. Okay, so my presentation will be guided with the following objectives. Number one, describe the importance of time management, define a strategy to set priorities, identify steps to overcome barriers to effective time management, and learn some time management tips. Okay, now, does anyone have any idea of the significance of this number? That number that is found on your screen. Do you have any idea? Now, actually, that number designates the seconds in each day. So that if you multiply 24 hours a day times 60 minutes per hour times 60 seconds per minute, you will get that number, 86,400. Now, each of us, each person has the same number of seconds available in a day. However, it is up to each of us to determine how we are going to use or manage our time. Okay, now, why should we learn to manage our time? Okay, number one, because effective time management will help us or will help increase our productivity. No? So, daghan taog mahimo. So, in other words, more outputs are being produced. So, if you assign a fixed time for any of the tasks to be done in a day, now, and then you do it as scheduled, now you will be surprised how much you can accomplish. Now, dito po sa number one, bawal ang mañana habit. No? So, don't put things off until tomorrow if you can do those things today. Okay? And then second, now effective time management will help us gain control over our life. Daghan kaayo tag buhaton, no? Sa usa ka adlaw daghan kaayo tag buhaton. That is why it is very important, really very important to create your list and prioritize your tasks. Now, always remember, my dear students, that if you cannot control your time, your old habit would control you, no? And it will hinder your achievements, okay? Or it will hinder you from achieving more. Okay, now next, why time management is important? My dear students, it will have positive effect on your health. Okay, now your health would be a reflection of how you manage your time. Okay, so when you manage your time effectively, you don't have to stay late up in the evening and then complete your work. Okay? And then, dili pod kinahanglan nga imuhang putlon ang imuhang pagkatulog. Because if you do so, what happens? You will get tired. And if you will get tired, dili na ka mahimong productive sa imuhang mga trabaho. No? So, kung maayo ang imuhang tulog, what will happen to you? Ma-recharge ka, ma-recharge ang imuhang brain, ma-recharge ka physically, ma-recharge ang imuhang body. And this would mean increasing your energy level. So kung ma-increase ang imuhang energy level, what will you do? Diba mas daghan ka og mabuhat? Okay. Next, when you manage your time wisely, more time for extracurricular activities. No, so kung ma-fix nimo ang imuhang schedule for all the tasks, no, for the day, you get an idea of the extra time that you will have left after completing all your tasks. So, ang mahitabo, you can schedule your favorite activities, no, your passion, the things that you love to do, like jogging or biking, drawing, painting, photography, etc. Okay? Next. It helps in stress reduction. So kung dili na to ma-complete ang atong studies, dili na to mahimo ang atong mga requirements, dili na to mahimo ang atong mga project, well, that can cause you to be stressed out, no? Maka-stress kaayo. And for us, no, we really have to aim to take care of our mental health because that is very important to us. So effective time management can help you in lessening those mental pressure, which also would boost your confidence and energy level. Okay, and then last here is no last minute cramming. Okay, favorite to ba ni nato, no? So mag-exam, ugma ang exam, pagkagabi mo pa ituon, or 5 minutes before the exam mo pa ituon, mo pa i-complete sa atong mga requirements. So mao na ang atong problema, and kung di nato ma-beat ang deadline, no, this leads to cramming. And what happens when we cram? Unsa ang mga consequences? It would be expected na lower ang atong performance. So low po ang atong mga score. But with proper techniques of time management for students, they cannot just complete, or they cannot only complete during or studying in the chapter, in their syllables, or kanang humanon ang ilahang mga module, but also they have extra time left for panalitan, i-revise no ang ilahang mga outputs, or more time left for review sa ilahang mga exam. Okay? So kana kung ma-manage o maayo ang imong panahon. Okay. So how do you currently spend your time? So mga estudyante, it is really very important, no? Because one way to really get a handle on how you spend your time is to keep a time log or a daily chart of your activities. So it will help you know where time goes, and also help you identify kung unsa to ang mga time wasters. Okay? So you may be amazed at what you will learn. Now, you can try this no in a week, no, nga i-schedule nimo na kay chart sa imong mga himuon nga mga activities. Okay. Now, moving on. Okay, so let's now talk on setting priorities. Okay. Now, learning to set priorities is a necessary skill to success, not only sa atong mga balay, not only sa atong mga himuon, no, but also sa atong school, no, particularly sa atong mga estudyante. Now, for us to really understand, no, how to set our priorities, let us have this an example. Okay, so you see there an empty jar, rocks, pebbles, and sand. Okay, now kanang empty jar din ha, it represents the amount of time available in a typical week. Now remember that no matter how powerful you are, no matter how famous you are, no matter how rich you are or insignificant you are, we all have the same size jar. Ibig sabihin, we have all the same amount of time given in a week to get things done. Okay? Now, these rocks here, kaning mga dagko nga mga bato, okay, they would represent those activities that matter most in your life. Okay? So kung mahimo na nimo or dili na mahimo, naanay epekto, naanay consequences. Ang consequences would either be positive or negative, no? Good or bad. Okay. Now for the pebbles here, mao ni siya ang mga little tasks that might add up to be something significant. But if you miss one or two, well, walay, no big deal. Okay? And then the sands represents all the non-essential things that tend to fill up our days and our lives. No, kani nga mga sand would represent those wasteful and non-value productive activities that would fill up our jar. Now, example to this, no, kanang we aimlessly browse in the internet, mag-Facebooking, or magsige og tan-aw og kana siyang mga TV program, chatting, mo hang out sa mga friends, no? And this could also be mga material things, mga material positions, no, mga things that you can live without. Daghan sa SM, daghan ni sa SM, daghan ni sa Robinsons. Okay. Now, you can try these activities, or you can try this activity in two ways. Okay? So, first, punon nimo ang jar, unahon nimo ang mga sands. And then, after the sands, imong i-fit ang pebbles. And then, after the pebbles, imong butangan og mga large rocks. So, unsa may nahitabo? Unsa may imong nakita? Okay? Now, this is what will happen, no? Kani siya, no? This is what will happen. Sorry, when we allow all of the least important priorities to fill up our day instead of focusing on what's really very important, wala na tayo room for important things, no? So, dili na nato mahimo ang dapat nato himuon, especially those that are important to us. Okay, now, you can also try the activity like this, no? So, ang jar, imuhang unahon og butang ang kadtong mga big rocks, and then next, the pebbles, and then the sand. Okay, so, kung sa may mahitabo. So, if you focus on the most important things first, okay, so what will happen, mas mapunan pa nimo, no, daghan ka pa og mas sulod nga mga butang nga gusto nimong himuon sa imuhang kinabuhi. Okay, so mao na siya. Okay, now here are questions that probably you can use, no, especially when you think of prioritizing things or your activities. You can have this screenshot, no? Aron from time to time pwede imong reviewon. Okay, so number 1, what is most important to you, no? What are the activities that I really value the most? What is the most valuable use of my time right now? And how long will it take to complete this task? How difficult is it to complete this task? Do I need the help of others to get the task done? What are the consequences of not completing this task? Will my decision affect others? Or is there a deadline for any of the tasks? Okay, now let's move on, no? Okay, now there are a number of things that may keep us from effective using of our time, and we call them our barriers. Now, it is also good, no, nga we have to identify kung saan siya nga mga barriers. Okay, now number 1, we have there distraction, no, interruptions, and procrastinations. So, ang atong goal to eliminate all these barriers, no, para nga makatabang sa ato, ano nga, we can make the most of the time that is set aside to complete our tasks. Okay, now there are mga barriers that are very obvious, no, mga distractions na klaro kaayo, unya dali gid pud nato dapat himuon. Okay, o dapat i-control. Okay, for example, kanang TV, no, nagtuon ka niya tapos na ay TV nga nagsaba-saba, so unsay imong buhaton? Pagnon. Okay? Or ang imong silingan, saba ang ilahang kusog ang ilahang sounds, no? So di maulaw man ka mo singgit sa imong silingan, no, hinayan ang inyong sound. So the best thing that you can do is to close your doors, close the windows, no, aron ma-filter ang sound. Another thing is your cell phone, no, sige og ring. So ang bukaton aron nga dili kabati, dili matintal pag sige og tan-aw kung nagsige og ring ang telephone, is to put them to a silent mode. Okay, no, so another distractions and interruptions, no, nga sakto lang kaayo ang ilahang pag-attack sa ato kaning mag-daydreaming ta, no, mag-daydreaming ta. So unsa kay akong kanon for lunch, unsa kay akong snack, asa ka ako mong adto, asa ko magsuroy-suroy, kanindot tawagan ang akong close friend, ingon ana, no? So you really have to control it. Okay? Now, one suggestion kanang usahay sige prop up sa atong huna-huna no nga ganahan ko tawag ni so ana. So you can take note, no? So pwede na to isulat nga after mahuman ako ang akong buhaton, so I need to pull this up and I need to do this, I need to check kung naana ba may sudan, like that, no? So after mahuman ang imuhang task, go back to what you have listed and then do it. Okay, so ingon ana. Okay, now the last there is procrastination. Now, unsa man ang procrastination, okay? So, mao na siya no kanang pag-postpone sa atong mga actions. Ugma na, ang dapat buhaton karon ugma na lang, no, unya na lang hapon, sunod semana na lang, yung ana. Now, the first step that you should do is to recognize that sometimes, no, ingon ana pud ta mo procrastinate gyud ta. Okay. Now, try to identify the reason why. Ganun man nga mo procrastinate man ta. Now, usa sa mga reasons is that you find the task unpleasant. Dili ta ganahan, no? And then another is the tasks are too overwhelming. Okay? For instance, sa ato mga estudyante, no? Ang atong teacher sa math na ay gihatag na assignment, ang teacher sa suksay na ay gihatag na project, ang teacher sa chemistry na ay ipatuon because you will have examinations ana no, so daghan kay isang tanan. So you have to get over it. Okay, so how? Okay, so number one, you can do the task that is worst, okay, or do the worst task first. Okay, so katong di kaganahan, no, pananglitan kanang numbers ko daghanan sa atong mga estudyante dili ganahan numbers. Okay, so may problema sa math. So katong dili nimo ganahan mo imong unahon so that when you do the rest of the activities for the day, malipayon ka na kay ganahan man kaadto nila, no, usa ra may dili nimo ganahan. Okay, now next is you can break up into bite-sized pieces, no, ang imuhang mga activities into bite-sized pieces. Like for instance, if you are given a project, no, like a term paper, no, so dili ka ganahan nga humanon nimo right there and then, no, so pwede nimo tagi-tagihon. Okay, so mag-research ka primero, no, mag-gather ka facts, information, and then in the afternoon pwede nimo himuon ang introduction unsa ang purpose ni anang imuhang term paper, and then the following day the body, and then the conclusion, no, so tagi-tagihon. So it's just like also kung panalitan tagaan kag project pahimuon kag lantern, so unahon nimo ang base, pagkaugma taptapan nimo, and then sunod himuon nimo ang ikog. Okay, so tagi-tagihon ang mga activities. And then next, you can also consider your energy level. Now there are students who would call themselves mga morning persons, no, so kung morning persons ka, you can wake up early and then complete your task in kanang the morning. Unya napoy uban nga night person, so pwede gid himuon na, no, during the night ang imong mga activities and complete it. Okay, so that's it. And then next, so you can also reward yourself. So after completing the tasks, no, mahimo nimo in after 2 hours, nahuman nimo ang imong assignments, nahuman nimo ang imong project. So pwede nimo i-treat ang imong kaugalingon. So pwede ka mo tan-aw sa og kanang Korean novela, no? So i-review ang Itaewon Class, i-review ang Crash Landing on You. Okay, so i-reward ang imong, or mukaon ta sa Robinsons, ngayon ana, or give yourself a time with your close friend. Ano? So, doon na ang mga rewards na pwede na itong himuon sa atong kaugalingon. Okay, now, so I have here mga valuable time management hints no, before I close my presentation. Okay, so number one, the obvious way to use time better is elimination. So, tanggalon, no? Cut out those things that aren't necessary. Those things that you don't enjoy anyway, no? So, ato. Next is, do it right the first time to save a lot of time. Okay? Because whatever you don't use on the day, it will be gone forever. Okay? And the next, develop the habit of finishing what you start. Okay? So, dili nang unaho. Maghimo ka ani karon, and then dili mahuman, no? Then, ngita na po gaglain nga buhaton, and then tapos, dili na po mahuman. So, kuan na lang, pirmi lang start, pero walay finish, no? Okay, so, as much as possible, no, don't jump up from one thing to another. Unya, ibilin tong butang dili nimo humanon jud, no? And then next is learn to say no. Okay, kanang multitasking, no? So, usahay baya, no? Kanang ako'y negative nga effect ang multitasking. Kay, na, sige na start, pero dili na to mahuman. No, or dili pod quality ang atong performance kung mag-multitask ka. Now, I remember Ma'am Chona said nga, kanang, I have only two hands, the left and the right. Okay, so mauna nga, learn to say no, no? Kay balo magkakung unsa ang imuhang mga limitations. Okay, and then the last is, consider utilizing a planner, no? So, make use of the calendar. Pwede nimo isulat gyud kung unsa dapat ang imong himuon for the day, and then tomorrow i-check kung panalitan nahuman, and then tapos the following day mao gihapon sulat ang mga activities nga unsay dapat nimong buhaton, and then check kung panalitan na buhat nimo. So it would be easy for you to identify those nga wala nimo mahimo, no? So that the following day imong mahatagan og panahon. Okay, so my dear students, no, let me leave this very important thing, no. So the time, the talent, this is a treasure that God has given to us. He set our day, and it is not for nothing. If you really use this gift for His glory, I tell you, one day the Lord would say this to you, good and faithful servant, enter thou into the joy of the Lord. Nico pani ni ami parente. Thank you very much for listening, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Distractions, interruptions, procrastination are barriers to effective time management. Managing your time wisely improves student life balance and increases happiness. Good time management also reduces stress and allows you to achieve your goals faster and easier. And students, no proclaiming na daw ingon si Ma'am Tauy ha, and decide which things are most important to do because we don't have that luxury of time to do everything. Thank you so much, Ma'am Christie, for that thought about ways to manage time wisely. Now, getting good grades is the ultimate goal of a college student, am I right? And I bet all the students here who are watching with us in Zoom or even in FB Live would agree with this. It's the best way, Mango, to define personal success as a student, no? Getting good grades, no, in the university. We have a classmates class who are achiever in class, and we tend to say, how to be you po, or sana all bright. Now, to answer that question, how to be you po, or what are the habits of a successful student, Help me welcome with a virtual applause the head of the Office of Student Scholarship and Awards, Mr. Junito A. Panonce. Sir?
Thank you, Mama Andrea, for that introduction. Dr. Bilusino, Professor Lorato, Dr. Bilien, all parts of the program, students, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Okay, so this is an honor for me to share these things that would, I hope, help the students be able to adjust to our new life, no, as a student. So I'll be starting sharing with you the topics that I will be giving to you this morning. Okay, for a moment, hold on. Okay. Okay, is my screen clear now? Can you see it now?
Wala pa, sir.
Hello, ma'am?
Wala pa yung share screen, sir.
I-open na ninyo.
Yes, na, ari.
Slide show na ninyo. Tagya.
Wala pa. Sharing ko na. Share. Okay. Okay, good morning. I'll be talking to you about the habits of a successful student. So I hope that I'll be able to give credit to all the students who are listening this morning. First, what are some of the things that you need to accomplish in order to be able to get the best out of your studies here in college? Okay. Okay, there are things that you need to achieve. Okay, a moment. Okay, we have all different styles and approach in doing this work. Okay, first, awareness of certain qualities will guide us on what to do, improve ourselves, and minimize problems and failures along the way. We all have different learning styles, and we approach college differently with the challenges that we face and experience. But we need to recognize some of the universal or basic characteristics and traits to be able to build ourselves into a successful college student. That it requires a lot of effort and training and build innate qualities to succeed in our endeavors. That applications of good qualities will definitely help us to become outstanding student and with good understanding of the effectiveness of the way to succeed. Okay, then efficient learning style. Okay, what are some of these efficient learning style that you need to make yourself to be able to accomplish our task as a student? First, the art of studying. We have studying is rolled out as an effort of learning, and it is only practiced successfully when you learn and learn well and efficiently. When you budget your time, like what Ma'am Christie said, you'll be able to keep up in studying. You must budget your time. You must plan ahead of the day, the week, and even the term. When you start in the morning, you should have the good idea of what are going to do and that day and stick to reasonably well. How to budget time is not just a matter of putting it in so many hours a week at study or even making sure to have work done on time. How would you be able to organize your work? Besides budgeting, the art of study also involves a number of things that you may not have taken seriously. getting to class on time so that you don't miss the instructor's direction for studying an examination, not cutting any more classes than you can help, finding a good place to study, free of distraction, making sure to have lighting, equipment, and other physical facilities for work, knowing when and where to ask the teacher questions about the work, regulating intrusions on your time, and resisting temptations to postpone study, and getting and following direction for the work entailed in the course, having the proper note-taking materials and keeping them well arranged and accessible. Okay, so next, better reading. What are some of the basic skills that you need to accomplish to be able to successfully getting good performance? First, better reading. By any standard of what we can do, most students are miserable readers. Not only do they read too slowly, they don't read the right way. They more tips, retrace their words, and do other things that impede their comprehension on what they read, as well as slow them down. That is why it is really important to practice reading. Okay, next, vocabulary. Some students, for one reason or another, have not learned the precise meaning of words that all college students are supposed to know, even an elementary sort of word. Some students have not been making the dictionary the bosom companion it ought to be. That is why maybe we are using now the Google as a source of information for us. Maybe we have different ways of trying to find some of the things that we want to know by Googling. No? In just a second or a minute, you'll be able to find the words that needs to be taken into consideration. Then we have the mathematical skills. This is simply much of different things that we need to reconsider. Simple arithmetic and elementary mathematics is a third skill in which too many college students are deficient. Okay, that is why some of us don't like take engineering courses because we are afraid of mathematics. This skill is something students ought to assess and do something if they are lacking in it. That is why even if whatever course that you are taking now, mathematics is a very important one. Okay, trying to consider mathematics is a matter of life, because if you don't know how to budget your time, budget your money, and budget your other things, and be able to allocate all the things that you need, would be able a harmful effect on you. Okay, college is different. Okay, why is it different? Because the standards of work is different also. Okay, although there are exceptions, most college students stood in the upper half of even higher of their high school classes. Okay, so when you are good in high school, you'll be questioning yourself, why are you not doing well in college? It is because it's different. You are now on your own. Okay, as the second slide is given to you. Okay, aside from competition and standards of work, there's another big difference between high school and college. You are not treated like an adult who can be given some general directions and then left to figure out for yourself how and when will do that is supposed to do. So you are on your own. So you need to do it yourself. This typically different situations requires long range, sustained motivation, and wise budgeting of time. That being mentioned earlier, many college students simply aren't prepared for this. So I hope as you go through as a freshman student, be able to go on or improve your style in studying your lessons. Parental pressure is one of the contributions that really affect our students. Okay, much more with the online instruction that you're at home, sometimes you'll be distracted. Okay, making the abrupt change from high school to college is itself a big enough problem for students. But this usually isn't all. There are plenty of other things to aggravate the problems. One is frequently the pressure put on him by parents. Okay, so sometimes parents are always looking at us, what to do, what are some of the things that we have to accomplish in a day. Sometimes with the present situation in pandemic, sometimes they'll not be able to understand what you are doing now. Okay, next. What are some of the abilities and interests that you have to reconsider? Okay, First, judging yourself, okay? In considering your prospect for success in college, okay? There is an important point to keep in mind. Students on the whole are very poor judges of their own abilities and indeed of their own personal traits. Some overactive themselves, others underrate, but mostly they overrate. Okay, that is why so much, what you call this, you are putting yourself too much that you are doing well, but in reality you are not doing the best that you can. Okay, so because of that situation, you'll not be able to study well because you believe that you are doing well. Okay, then lack of motivation. What does lack of motivation affect us? Okay, now before motivation for college work. Okay, motivation is the most serious problem facing many students. Okay, often students don't seem to have any interest in their course, or at least in some other courses. They feel that they ought to be taking their college work more seriously. Very often, students feel guilty about not studying, but they don't know how to work up the motivation for it. Lack of motivation, but perhaps we can say some things that will help you develop some. Okay, so that is why it's very important for us to consider what motivates us. Okay, what is the purpose of going to school, so that you'll be able to make use. What are some of the things that need to be undertaken? Why am I here in college? Okay, what's the purpose? Then the lack of motivation will make us down and be able to push down us because we don't have the capability to go on with our work. In college, the external pressures aren't so great. Are you left to move yourself to get some work done? Okay. So another reason has to do with vocational aims. Few students are absolutely sure what they want to be, and even fewer have any idea of what must do in college to prepare themselves for their chosen vocation. That is why some of you, with the recent situation that with the limited courses offered to you because of limited number of students to be accessible to courses that you like, that is why sometimes you just choose the second course that you need to achieve. Okay, academic and vocational success. So what are some of these things that really give us the motivation to go on? Those who make the best grades in college are generally those who make the best income later on. There certainly are several reasons why is it in the case. One, of course, is that those of the highest ability will be more likely to succeed both in college and in their work, because in the workplace, those who will be hiring will be choosing the best using your grades. Okay, when you apply for a job, you are not bringing yourself there with your grades. It is your grades that is there before you go there for interview. So how would you be able to get the interview if your grades is flunking? Okay, if you have a mini 5 or 3 in your transcript of records, what will happen? Okay, what is the importance of grades? Actually, experience has proved that good grades are the best omen of success. Okay, though few people in the connections may be admitted despite mediocre grades, this doesn't very often. Okay, it doesn't happen anyway. Grades, of course, aren't the sole measure of a man of his academic success. People can learn much and acquire really useful education without having high grades, but you need to be skillful on it. Okay, how to study less? And in fact, it isn't how much you study, but rather how will you study that counts. Educational psychologists who have surveyed students are pretty well convinced that major factor is quality rather than quantity of study time. Even if you have all the 4 hours in your time frame, but you're just studying a 15-minute accomplishment in your work. So it is very important. Then we need to organize time and value our schedule to be able to accomplish those things. Okay, first, okay, a schedule saves time. According to Ma'am Christie, a schedule will give us much more efficiency and saves time if you are doing well. Okay, so you have to organize your time properly in order to distribute the time frame that you are given. Okay, you have the same time. Okay, we have 24 hours a day for all of us. But why other people have achieved that much with a lesser time? Okay, you have other reasons for this to think of, but these are some of the things that you need to reconsider. Okay, scheduling also, well-planned schedule makes time. It keeps you from vacillating about what you're going to next. It will cut out much of the waste motion in attempting to study. Okay, so making every hour count. Why? At the end, of course, you got to make your own schedule so that it suits your class hours, laboratory subjects, part-time work, and so on. With the recent activity, with the pandemic that we are facing today, sometimes you work at the same time. Even if you are studying right now, you're still working because you want to help your parents, you're helping yourselves. So it also affected you. Okay, making every hour count. In the end, of course, you can get much more of every schedule so that it suits your class hours, laboratory subjects, part-time work, and so on. Psychologists know that extensive research that people get their best work done by working intensively for a reasonable period of time, then resitting or changing our time else. There is an optimum cycle of work and rest for every job and every individual. For the kind of work involved in studying, and for typical student, a period of 40 or 55 minutes of work at stretch work, followed by 10 minutes or so to rest or change is just about right. Okay, you don't have to put all your time studying. If you are so haggard now, you are so affected by the time, you need to rest. Okay, when to study. Okay, how to use your time. Okay, you have to have a definite study periods. Okay, why is it necessary? Okay, why is it necessary? Because starting by making your study periods short and plan or brief periods of rest or relaxation in between, you won't find the prospects forbidding, and you'll be more likely to do what is set out to do. Then at least you will have accomplished something. Okay, so it is very important for you to really set the period as stated. No, the physical conditions of study all should be considered also. But the physical conditions of study can help you considerably in your efforts to work effectively on a schedule and to accomplish what you want to do. Okay, the best place to sit is at a table or a desk, not on a bed. Why? Because the bed is too relaxing and doesn't go along with the work that studying is. You want to sleep along the way. Okay, the table or a desk should be clean and clear of everything not connected with the work. Okay, it should have no pictures, trophies, radios, or other things that might cause one's mind to wander away from the task. Okay, good lighting that floods the entire working area is also an important condition for effective study. Lighting should be adequate, comfortable, and pleasant. Will keep motivation up longer and make studying a more inviting task. Okay, that is why it is very important to consider also where you are studying. Okay, concentration and physical fitness. Why is it very important to learn to concentrate by concentrate using physical fitness? Because it is a preparation for your studies. Okay, in the first one, it is to be in the best possible physical condition when you study. Eating meals and getting sleep regularly to avoid stomach pangs and alert are possible during study time. Get reasonable amount of recreation and exercise. Okay, so it is very important. Sleepiness, why is it affected? Okay, to fight sleepiness, a person must be sufficient sleep regularly. Second, it take a 5-minute break in which you rest or have a nap. Other is to pace the floor, take a rest, but brief walk or recite a lesson aloud. To schedule boring activities, recreation, or something not requiring concentration at times when you feel sleepy. Okay, so mental fatigue. Why is it mental fatigue? Okay, so related to sleepiness but different in the feeling of being tired. Okay, psychological research revealed from interesting things about social fatigue. Okay, it is not really fatigue similar to physical fatigue. Rather, it is a burden and represents decreased motivation to study. Okay, changing the activities, in fact, the cure of fatigue in studying. To To help combat fatigue, it is a good idea to schedule first and subjects that interest you least, leaving until later when you may be fighting fatigue, the subject that interests you most. Okay? So, what are some of the academic skills that you have to be prepared of, or the academic skills and abilities? First, excellent verbal written skills. Okay, it is very important for us because in answering our questions or exams or quizzes or assignments, we need to make this of the skill, verbal and written skills. And verbal, when we are having our classroom activities, and when you are in an online learning, you'll be engaged in the verbal activities. Okay, you have to share your knowledge and be able to participate in class. Time management skills, as stated by Ma'am Christie, is also very important. Okay, excellent organizing. Okay, excellent organization is very important also. Okay, then analytical and problem-solving skills is really important to be able to cope up with the pressures of the course that you are taking now, because in this way you'll be able to reason out properly, be able to share your thoughts about the course that you are taking. Okay, sharp observing skills is also very necessary, because in making your report or trying to research, it is very important to observe what is necessary. Okay, so and last, these are the 10 things, okay, the habits that are highly effective for students. Okay, first, don't attempt to cram, okay, all your studying into one session. Okay, so as being stated, you have to make use of your time properly, trying to break up things, break up the time into different lessons so that you'll not be bored. Okay, so you should be consistent in your studies and to have a regular yet shorter study periods. Okay, so it is very important to consider on this. Do not just study now, then later on stop again, then you don't continue your studies at all. Okay, so you need to be able to go on with your studies. Okay, next, plan when you're going to study. Okay, successful students schedule specific times throughout the week when they are going to study, and then they stick with their schedule. Okay, much of the effective successful students, they really stick on the schedule as planned. Okay, students who study sporadically and whimsically typically do not perform as well as students have set study schedule. Okay, so mas maayo kuno tong ang katong mga estudyante magplano jud og tarong ug unsa jud. So mao na nga ang schedule is very important to consider in doing our work. Okay, to make it a habit. Okay, we are talking about habits now. Okay, study at the same time. Okay, so kung sa to schedule ni mga giset, mao na jud imong sundon ngano man, it will make you familiar of the time frame that you need to work, the time, the daily routine, and all the should be consistent. Okay, so in making these things happen, it is just a matter of a regular work for you, not something to worry about. Then its study time should have a specific goal. Why is it this so? Okay, simply studying without direction is not effective. Okay, just study when you want to. Okay, it's not an effective way of doing it. You need to know exactly what is to be accomplished in your study. Okay, so before you study, try to prepare all things to be able to accomplish the task properly. Okay, next, never procrastinate your planned study session. Okay, Mang Christie have said about procrastination, so I think you should learn how to budget your time properly. Okay, it is very easy and common to put off all study session because you have the lack of interest on the subject matter that you are trying to accomplish. Okay, so mao to giingnon nga ayaw na nga ugma-ugma na kun dili ug unsay buhaton karon, you have to do it now. Okay, next, start with the most difficult subject first. Nganong importante man ning lisod kayo unahon? It is because og kulang na ka kanang gikapoy na gani ka unya lisod ang imong subject, much better nga mopahuway na lang, di ba? Mao nay atong actuation diretso after nga makaingon ta kapoy man di maglisod man ko subject nako, no? Labi na og ang subject mao jud imong dili ganahan nga kurso, no? Or subject matter or mathematics by maybe, no? The next is always review your notes before starting an assignment, okay? So obviously before you review your notes, you must first have notes to review, okay? Unsa man joy imong gikinahanglan, unsa man joy i-discuss ninyo before nga kinahanglan nimo i-reconsider, unsa man joy mga particular assignment nga kinahanglan nato i-reconsider ngaron humano nato, okay? Reviewing your notes before each study session will help you remember important subject matter, okay? So kinahanglan na kay target, kinahanglan effective ang imong way sa pag-accomplish niini. Next, we have make sure you're not distracted while you're studying. Sometimes with our recent development with the pandemic, sometimes you'll be distracted, okay, by our parents, by the chores that we have to be given, no? Kaya usahay, wala man gud ta musulti po sa atong ginikanan nga naatay klase, no? So nag-expect sila nga tungod kay muragwara ninyo nagsigira mog lakaw-lakaw, nagsigira mog tan-aw kay inyo man gi-close ang inyohang video. So nagtuo ang inyong mga ginikanan, wa mo'y gibuhat. Sometimes na games, na daghan kayo nga mga giduaan ninyo nga instead nga tuon mo, wala na lang mo magtuon. So it is very important to make use of this, okay? So kanang mga TV, ang mga programs, so kinahanglan nato i-consider na siya. You should allocate, you should focus on your studies, okay? Next, use your study growth effectively. Karon kay bisan tuod sa pandemya, it does not mean nga dili na ta pwede mo gamit, no? Kay ang bisan natong mga classmate pwede raman ta mo gamit og Facebook, no? Sa pag make use aning pamagi kay makapangutana naman ta kung unsa man joy imong gilisdan, no? You can ask to your classmates on the things that you have been experiencing. So now you should learn to accept that we need people, we need other person for us to help our work, okay? Mauna siya nga importante nga ang ubang tao na nato able to help us, our instructors, our classmates, okay? So, our parents are there available trying to help us, okay? Don't be afraid to ask for help, okay? Next, this is the last part. Review your notes, schoolwork, and other materials over the weekend. Okay? So kinahanglan importante nini mo buhaton kay nga naman aron makahibaw ka kung say sunod nga buhaton. Okay? So kinahanglan nato trabahoon kini tanan kay aron magamit, no? Unsa man joy angay natong buhaton sunod semana. Unsay mga assignments nga wala pa matrabaho. Unsa pa may mga butang nga wala pa nako work for, okay? So that will be able to be confident enough na matrabaho jud tanan, wa kay ma-lift out, dili maka incomplete, makomply nimo tanan, nga maka-apply na pud kag scholarship kung wa na kay problema sa imong grado. Okay? Kay kung kulang na siya ang mahitabo, dili ka maka-apply kay gikinahanglan man nga tanan mga subjects nimo na ay grado nga dagko, no? So mao ni siya nga kinahanglan, mao ni ang atong conclusion with this time, okay? So ato ning tan-awon ron kung unsa man ka importante, no? Ang kaning habits nato, no? Unsa ka importante na gamito nato na kinahanglan kining habits ma-regular nato og gamit, okay? It is widely believed that most of the students are good, but not all of them are successful. And it requires much to become a successful student. So, trabaho jud ni siya, dili ni siya ingon nga duwa-duwa ra. So, kinahanglan nato trabahoon kini siya. Next, it takes diligence, discipline, punctuality, optimism, and other character to become one. So, mao ni siya nga kikinahanglan sa sunod na to nga topic siguro magsunod na ko, ila na siyang i-discuss. So, take note of those things and it will help you a lot. Okay? Successful students can always achieve their goal with balanced personality and strength of character. Okay, mao jud na ang pinaka-importante nga inyong i-take charge in order to be able to succeed. Okay? Ingon pa ang Ginoo, ingon pa ang saying do the best and God will do the rest. Okay, what will happen to you kung wa kay gibuhat? Nagsige lang kag pangayo sa Ginoo nga tabangan ka pero wa kay gibuhat. Well, unsa may imong gi-expect? So wa jud. Okay? So I hope nga kani siya nga discussion karon makatabang ninyo ug unsa joy kinahanglan ninyo i-prioritize aron ma-accomplish ninyo ang inyong gusto mahitabo sa inyong kinabuhi. Okay? Thank you everyone and good day. I hope I'm giving you the best I can to help you along the way. Thank you and good morning.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Panonce. No, college is different. Matud pa ni Sir Panonce. No, do not study in bed and avoid distractions, and also you must review your notes. No, para mas scholar na mo puhon when you apply on the scholarship sa office ni Sir Panonce, right? Sir Panonce?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Successful students can always achieve their goal with balance and personality and strength of character. So, do the best and God will do the rest. May the teaching of Mr. Panonce gain you some insights how to become a successful student as you strive on your path as a freshman in this university.
Throbs a melody for our dear university, with fruitful fields and verdant lawns, with gorgeous sunsets and beautiful dawns, a school with a noble mission, from a sport to establish countless leaders of the nation.